Hello, brawlers, and welcome to the BakuTalking Longer Podcast. I'm Haru Ren, and I got another special guest for you guys today. This man is a living legend in the voice acting community. He has been on many shows. I'm sure you've seen him in many stuff. He's been nominated for many awards, and this is someone that I've been wanting to get on this show for quite a while. So here he is, the man, the legend himself, the voice of Wynton Styles, Deven Mack.
Well, hello. Those are a lot of nice words that you have said about me very quickly, and I don't know how to deal with that, but thank you. Hi. Hello, brawlers. It's me. I'm Deven Mack, Wynton, Auxillitaur, and Arcleon, and I'm sure some other ones somewhere in there, too. Hello.
It's so nice to have you on to the show, and it's such an honor. I've been following your work actually for such a long time. I'm going to start from the very beginning. The very first thing that I've heard your voice in was actually Lab Rat in Grossology.
Okay.
That was such a long time ago, and I have been inadvertently a fan of Deven Mack for years actually.
Oh, look what I got. I got Hermes.
Hermes! It's Hermes.
That's cool. We're going back. Grossology was 2006 for me. That was my first TV show. So,
yes.
Really important, great experience for me. Terrifying, but one that I treasure very deeply.
Yeah, that was the very first show that I've seen, like, very sciencey. It's like, it aired on TV every time I come home from school, and besides Ty, Lab Rat was like another one of my favorite characters. And I was going, and when Bakugan came out and stuff, I went back to my cartoon roots, and I realized, Lab Rat sounds a lot like Wynton, and I realized, no, that is Deven. So you have actually been Lab Rat in Grossology, and I got to thank you for that, because Grossology was what got me through middle school science.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, honestly, that's so cool to hear, and yeah, it's kind of interesting. It always kind of comes back around for me playing like the sort of sciencey, smart inventor kid, and Lab Rat and Wynton both kind of have a lot of that in common. So yeah, it's really, really cool that you remember that show from way back and that it meant that much to you. That's awesome.
One of my favorite episodes from that show was when Lab Rat accidentally created giant dust mites, and he kept trying to hide that. He kept trying to hide that from Ty and Abby, and he has to try and fix himself. And
that was a lot of fun.
That was
the whole shrink ray and everything. That was one of my favorites.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. When I was doing my research on you, you got that role by doing a Chris Tucker impression?
I get so many things from doing a Chris Tucker impression. All of my comedy basically comes back to Chris Tucker, a lot of my influence. When I first went into audition, they didn't have any pictures of the characters there, but I'd done some research online the night before. And I found like some very rough, like in progress drawings of the show. And I saw a picture of Lab Rat, and he was some nerdy, geeky kid wearing a lab coat. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this voice kind of like Otacon from Metal Gear Solid. Snake, we need to find out where the enemies are, and that's what I had all planned out. I go in to do my audition, and I'm doing that thing, and the animation director and the producer say to me, we're not really feeling that. Can you give us, more you? But I'm like, I saw the character though. The character ain't gonna sound like me. He just looks like typical nerdy science guy. And they're like, well, we might change the design. He might not look anything like that. So just give us something entertaining and funny. And I'm like, okay. And next thing you know, I kind of reach into my bag of tricks and I pull out, we gotta find out where Sloppy Joe is hiding before he stinkifies the entire city, man. What are we doing, man? So it basically started with, a lot of my things start with that whole kind of Chris Tucker, man. Lee, what you doing? We all gonna die, man. And I take that and I slow it down a little bit. I take it a little bit lower in pitch so I can get all these scientific terms out there, like talking about the science behind myxomycetes. If I'm talking Chris Tucker real fast, man, you ain't gonna understand what I'm saying, man. So kind of find that way to fine tune it and make it my own, and that's where you get Lab Rat and so many characters I played since then.
That is so cool hearing that background story about Lab Rats. You know, I feel like the inner kid inside me is just screaming right now, just knowing what went into that. But Chris Tucker is really your like comedic influence, huh?
I one of many. He's definitely very, very high up there. I would say I kind of my writing style and my style of acting is kind of derived from a lot of different sources. A main influence for me actually is these three right there. I love Team Rocket. Meowth was the very first character voice I ever learned how to do. I really love those sort of goofy idiot villains that you kind of like want to cheer for. So Team Rocket always high up there for me. Little fellow right above them is Speedy Cerviche from the Samurai Pizza Cats, which is kind of like the original abridged series. Really, really cartoony, zany kind of acting, but the really neat thing about how it was dubbed was basically the writers watched it on mute and made up whatever they wanted. And that connected with me in a big, big way. Just being able to not take things too seriously, being able to laugh at whatever. Conan O'Brien's a big influence of mine as well. So yeah, a lot of different things I pull from.
So when it comes to voice acting, you mentioned how they wrote they put it on mute and they came up with whatever on the spot. One of the things that really stood out when you played Wynton is your ability to ad lib lines. Because I remember there was an episode recently on Geogun Rising. Wynton's like, he's battling like a Bakugan pro, and I'm like, come on, is that really part of the script, or was that one of Deven's geniuses? And you commented that it was that you confirmed that was one of your geniuses, and I got a feeling that there was like. I got a feeling there was like so much other like clever lines that you probably written in yourself that I probably have missed.
Is it madness or genius? I don't know. I basically there's a lot of stuff that goes in there where like if it makes me laugh, I'm gonna try to get it into the show. And sometimes it's even little things like making fun of my friends and silly things I know that they say that I'll just be like, I'm gonna get this on TV. Just watch. And yeah, that particular line, I forget what I was supposed to be saying, but and I do this for like every episode. I'll go through everything, and if I don't think it matches up with the mouth movements, or I don't think it sounds like something that Wynton or any 10-year-old kid would say, I'll have just a notepad, literally. Oh, I've got it here. I've got my notepad. Where I'll just take the time code of every line in the episode where I want to change something, and I have many notes, as you see. And that was an instance where I think Wynton had said something like, "Oh man, you know that guy sure is a really strong brawler," something that I didn't think was funny or I didn't think fit, and I'm like, I'm gonna get this in here and we'll see what happens. And lo and behold, like they often do, just made its way into the final edit of the show. Another one I was really, really proud of was the episode with his two siblings. And he has that line, something about, you know, we're going to get some training in too. 2 birds, 1 stone. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's not right. Falcron's right behind you, bruh. You can't say something like that. You got to, if we're going to use that saying, we got to acknowledge Falcron. So
2 birds, 1 stone. No offense, Falcron.
Exactly. And I'm like, they're not gonna go for it. And they went for it. And I was overjoyed. So yeah, I get to have a lot of fun, and I appreciate the room for creativity that they've given me.
Yeah, when we were speaking to Josh, he says that there are some times where like they allow the sound engineers allow like the actors for like creativity and like to try and like emulate some of their real life stuff into a character, just like making the character your own. And I gotta say, you really emphasize that, or really the personification of that, just making the character your own. Wynton by far seems like an extension of yourself.
Very, very much so. Wynton is the kind of character that I always wished existed in anime and I didn't think was possible growing up. So to basically be playing a character who I always wanted to see, who very, very closely resonates with a lot of my interests, it's just been something that fit like a glove. There was an instance where Wynton's talking about, I need to get on a proxy server so I'll be able to upload our videos on foreign websites. And I remember the director and the producer are like, "Does that make sense?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've done it." So I know this dude. I feel like Wynton is very much an extension of me. I love that you brought up Josh Graham, by the way. Very, very talented, a crazy talented dude. A good friend of mine, and what he's been able to bring to Falcron has just been amazing. There have been so many lines that have had me laughing. He's got this sort of Falco from Star Fox meets sort of Patrick Warburton. Hey Peter, and it's again, he's got so many things that make me just burst out laughing.
Yes,
I remember that same episode. The same one where I had the two birds, one stone. He says something like, "Hey, Wynton, over here, pal." I'm like,
I noticed that too.
That's great.
Yeah, when Josh is like truly a really creative mind, and he has spoken very highly of you. Same with Julius, and everyone so far, everyone that we've spoken to really look up to you like as a mentor kind of way. It's very funny because like you have actually been like being a voice actor for such a long time. You contributed so much to the industry, and one of the ones that I remember looking up. You even got Pro ZD on YouTube, Sunwon Cho, his first big break. You casted him in a video game. I can't remember what video game that was.
That's correct. It was an ancient Greek style game called Apotheon.
Yes, Apotheon. That's it. Yes, you casted him in that. And
he was so good. I loved working with him. He's got, again, such a funny guy, but he's got this amazingly deep kind of booming voice. And the way I found him was incredible. I had a friend of mine, Josh Tomar, him and his wife were looking to make like a Professor Layton sort of parody animation that they never ended up making. But they were looking for voice actors for Layton. And I'm like, I'll find somebody. Don't worry, I got you. So I'm going around on Tumblr. Remember that? And I found him doing these like funny dubs of Professor Layton comics. I'm like, this guy has got this amazing voice. I'm gonna remember that. And then I have him auditioning for this Greek game. Again, the Layton thing was never ended up getting made, so I never reached out to him over that. But when I'm auditioning for this Greek game, I send some stuff to him. I think I gave him like maybe Ares, the god of war, and I gave him Poseidon, the god of the ocean. And for Poseidon, he gives me again this really deep sort of booming voice saying, you humans will be washed away. And I'm like, oh man, I love his voice, but he kind of sounds too friendly for how I want Poseidon to be more menacing. So I told him, listen, man, I'm really, really sorry. I love the sound of your voice, but for Poseidon, I just thought you sounded way too nice, too fatherly. So how'd you like to be Zeus? You're Zeus now. And couldn't be happier for the dude. Amazing talent, really funny guy, and he deserves and the nicest guy as well, and he deserves everything he's getting and more.
Yeah, he's I've definitely seen a lot of his work. Very recently he was on Anime Crimes Division, and really enjoyed him on there. And he was, and yeah, you definitely did. I definitely got to say you have really made such a big impact on the industry. It's hearing your work through the years. You were like on Grossology. You did Marvel stuff. I know you did some. I know you did some like commercials for like Expedia and the CFL.
Oh yes, that was the Zone, and then I did Gatorade. I did a DeMar DeRozan commercial. New Gatorade Frost, cool as ice.
Yes, that
if
one.
If you watch TV in Canada 3 years ago, you probably would have heard that one a lot.
Yeah, I definitely feel like you were definitely a ghost in my thoughts. Everywhere I go, I watch like a lot of TV, and like everywhere I go, I watch TV, and I work in a place that we have TVs and we fix them, and they're on all the time. And I've been unknowingly been a fan of Deven Mack for such a long time, and it's really because of you that I've really gotten to like a really deep appreciation for voice work. And
well, thank you so much.
I've really seen voice acting like as a really huge art. As like I seen you have like a really large range of voices. You can go deep, you can go high. Like Wynton, you can like change your voice to like however a character sees fit. You were on shows that like you played like three different characters, and I didn't even know it. I thought they were played by different people, and I'm like, man, voice acting is so awesome. And it's just
thanks so much. And yeah, it's a really, really cool field that I'm very grateful to be a part of. And there's just so many amazingly talented, just good people who recognize, oh my goodness, we get to act like idiots for a living. Like, how much in life can we really complain about when we get to do this? And for me, in particular, I guess it all kind of goes back to me always being that sort of chameleon in a sense, where I was the shyest kid in school by far. Like, if you asked me in 2004 if you told me that I was going to be a professional voice actor 2 years later, I would have told you that you're absolutely insane, because I would literally go entire days of high school and I would not say a single word. That's how scared and nervous I was. But I would watch a lot of cartoons and I'd listen to a lot of people and I'd be like, oh man, that character's really confident and outgoing. That person's really outgoing. I wish I could be like that. I'm going to see if I can learn the things that make them interesting to listen to or really expressive. So maybe someday I could be kind of like that. And at the end of the day, at my core, I still consider myself to be extremely shy. But the fact that I'm able to, put stuff out there that's able to resonate with people, that really does mean a lot to me. It's, again, just a really great field. I'm very, very grateful to be a part of.
You've definitely changed a lot of people's lives and influenced them in a positive way. I know you've definitely been one of the ones that changed and influenced me very much.
That means the world to me.
Yeah, but speaking of like when you were like watching like cartoons and trying to be like that, what are some like inspirations of like some voices that you've heard? Like, whose voices have you heard that really made you want to do voice work?
Again, like a big thing kind of goes back to these fellas right here. Can't forget Fox McCloud, Star Fox 64, a huge influence of mine as well. But yeah, it's really, I would say, begins with characters like Meowth, the Team Rocket,
the silly, goofy villains,
the cats, all of the idiotic, stupid villains tend to be the ones that really stick with me the most, for sure. And yeah, even a lot of people that I've met online when I was just starting out, because I was not one of the better online voice actors. By far, I would say I was one of the weakest ones, but I was the first person to make the jump from doing online voice acting to doing TV stuff. So that's why I try to give so much back, because I'd be like, I just happen to be a lucky guy who lives in the right place. But, there's my buddy Edwin Tiong, Omadon. That guy deserves all the respect. This guy deserves the opportunities I'm getting right now. A friend of mine named Jerma, who was one of the greatest online voice actors ever. I learned so much of my stuff from him. And again, so everything that I can do to give back to new up-and-comers or people who've been around for a while but just haven't gotten their due, I'm always looking to give back however I can, because this business has given me so much. The whole reason why I feel like I have just any sense of confidence whatsoever is because of what this industry's given to me.
Oh yes, that's so awesome and so inspiring that you really want to give back to the industry and give back to people that really like inspired you, and that's like the best feeling in the world, right? When you get to a level that you feel that you feel like you've really made it, you want to be like, what, I can't forget where I came from. I can't forget these people that paved the way for me. I'm gonna give back to them. Try to do what I can to help them back. And that's really cool to hear. You're such a really down to earth guy, and just someone that's really been part of our community for such a long time. Just feel like one of us.
Oh, thank you so much. And again, it kind of all goes back to why I put so much into what I do, and I always want to try to give the audience of whatever I'm working on. I never want to insult their intelligence. I always want to give them a great experience, something that they can really see themselves in, or laugh at, or just get caught up in this incredible journey, because I know how much those stories can matter. When I was the shy, sad kid coming home from school, if I could just turn on something that would just make me laugh or smile, and that's what a lot of these characters did for me, that just made the biggest world of difference. So I always try to think about that person when I see a line in Bakugan or whatever show I'm working on. I'm like, how can I make this interesting? How can I make this funny? How can I make this really, really mean something to someone? So whenever I'm able to have that effect on others, that just, again, means the world to me.
Yeah, there's like so many lines in Bakugan when you play Wynton or Arcleon or Auxillitaur or any other character that you voice in Bakugan. There's just so many lines that you just make your own. So how important is it for voice actors that you feel that voice actors should make characters their own, try to make the best out of what they're given, even if it's like a role that they don't feel like could be like a very impactful, or could feel like a big hit, but how important is it to just still try to make it your own character, right?
Oh, that can make, again, the biggest world of difference, because it really, really comes through in your work when you care. And there are directors who are going to acknowledge that, are going to pick up on that. The good directors will be like, wow, I want more of this person. I'd love to give them more opportunities. The bad directors will be like, wow, someone who cares when I don't, that's threatening. Fortunately, there are not that many of those.
Thank God, right?
But you kind of always. I find that there's a lot of people who think, oh, I can't be a voice actor because I can't do all these different voices and whatever. And while it is a good asset to be able to change your voice and to play multiple characters within a show, at the end of the day, I would say most of my major characters are really just a version of me, maybe taking some influence from someone else or from somewhere else. But again, I took Chris Tucker and then I combined that with a lot of traits of myself. Labrat is very much me in a lot of ways. If you take going back to Beyblade Metal Masters, Zeo Abyss, there's a lot of myself in that character, from just how passionate he is about standing up for what he believes is right, putting himself at risk, sacrificing for his friends, there's always something that I try to connect with in every character that I play. Where is that little piece of me, or sometimes a big piece of me that is in that character? And you can just bring so much more life to a performance once you're able to do that.
Yeah, I'm very glad that you said that, because like I know there are a lot of people in the community that want to be voice actors, that want to try to be like you or everyone else that does Bakugan. And they're like, I want to be a voice actor someday, but I can't do voices, and I'm just like, well, that's not a really great attitude to have. Try to read a line of dialogue and just try to make it yourself.
Exactly. And if you can talk, you got a voice. There's only one you, so you're already unique in that way.
I cannot. In all honesty, I would like to try voice work, but I'm not the best actor in the world, right? So, but it's when I'm writing. But when I'm writing these scripts for my videos, I'm just it's really just me, right? So, and I'm talking into a microphone, so I'm like, is this what it feels like to be a voice actor?
You know what? I would say you're already major part of the way there. You're finding ways to take all this lengthy dialogue that you're writing, but you're keeping people engaged. You're delivering it in a way that's entertaining. You're bringing comedic timing to what you're writing. So again, that's really, really crucial. You've already got some of the basic components of it already down with what you're doing all the time.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank you. I draw some of my inspiration from James Arnold Taylor.
Okay.
James Arnold Taylor. David K.
Love me some David K.
When he does like Megatron, or when he does Clank from Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
I know David K. He has like this thing when he voices Clank. He moves his head like this when he's talking. He's like, I started talking like this. Ratchet, we must find Captain Quark quickly. Yeah.
That's such a big part of it. Yeah. You can get into the mindset of different characters all the time just from taking on a different posture. In some cases, actors literally cannot get into character unless they get into this sort of very different sort of form. To changing that posture also can affect the way just the breath and everything just kind of resonates. But it doesn't surprise me that he'd do that in the slightest. Different movements, different postures, facial expressions all go a long way.
Have you done that a lot of times? Is that what you do sometimes for your roles? What roles if so, what roles would have you done that in?
I wouldn't say I do it a lot, at least not consciously. But there's a villain that I played in Ninjago. I played Lego Ninjago. I played the Skull Sorcerer.
Yes.
And I would find I often did this sort of Palpatine like sort of pose, like I will make sure the ninja pay for what they have done. There's every now and then I'll have something like that. I remember when I did Beyblade and I had some of my more intense stuff. I would sometimes sort of take on a little bit of like a boxer sort of pose, like. For me, going into like a Bay battle, I almost kind of go into that sort of fighter, like boxer stance, because I come from an athletic background. So I get myself worked up. I kind of get that adrenaline going, and that's how you get some of that intensity is able to come through a little strong.
One of the one thing that we both like really have in common, we're both fans of pro wrestling, and I like how like in one show, I can't remember what it was, but you cut a promo on yourself. You were playing two wrestlers that were like going at each other, and you cut a promo on yourself. Professional wrestling promos, is that another huge influence on you?
I would say to some extent. Not hugely, but that was one of the very, very few instances where I got to just straight up pull from like, oh, I'm going to be Scott Steiner here. They want me to be Macho Man, but everybody wants Macho Man. Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna just do the most hilarious wrestler that a lot of people in the mainstream don't know about. Scott Steiner. Everything he says, he doesn't even seem to know how funny he is, but everything he says is ridiculous. You got a 33.33% chance at best of beating me. And Kurt Angle, you take your 33.33% chance and minus my 56.33%. He doesn't even know what he's saying. And he just kind of keeps going with the most serious, intense expression. I'm like, I gotta use this. So the second I had that wrestling episode in Total Drama Rama, that's what I did. I'm like, Chef, you're gonna pay for this because I'm the smartest man in the world, and that's the bottom line because that's what I'm talking about. It's such a mess, and I loved it. Everything he says is like a train crash of words, and it's beautiful.
The Scott Steiner math. Oh my god.
Greatest moment in the history of the very real, very prestigious sport.
Oh, man, I can never forget that. There's just so much professional wrestling moments that I just cannot, for the life of me, forget. That's like so hilarious. It's so impactful. Mm-hmm. But yeah, but yes, moving on from like
it's hard to go anywhere else after Scott Steiner. How can you?
You can't. Good job. Now you can't get that out of my head.
I don't have time for this. My money is worth a lot of time, so you better get this thing going. Wait, did I say that right? Who cares?
God, I cannot get enough of voice actors just like being able to do their thing outside the booth, right? That's just so. It's just
Unfortunately, neither can my mom. I can't go anywhere with her. It's a nightmare.
Oh God!
But I don't mind. But I don't mind it so much in this circumstance. I'm cool with it here.
What was your upbringing like for like a voice acting? What was your parents' reaction when you said, "Mom, Dad, I want to do voice acting"? I'm very fortunate in that I got more support than many do. And I would say my mom is absolutely my biggest fan. I definitely, because I was not enjoying school for a wide variety of reasons, my grades sort of started to fall off. Especially more so as my career took off. So I know it was definitely very frustrating, understandably so, to my mother at first, because I was a straight A student for the longest time. Big part of why I resonate with Wynton. Like academics and knowledge is very, very important to me. But because I hated the school environment so much, and I was just like such a loner, like there was nothing in it for me. I hated everything about it. And voiceover, which I got into when I was still in high school, I was in grade 10 or 11. I just started putting all of my eggs in that basket. When I wasn't working on Grossology, I would be online. I was on Newgrounds. I was on YouTube and just trying to get all the experience I could, learning everything I could. So my mom, bless her heart, had a lot of frustration saying, you got to focus on your schoolwork. You got to get your degree and all that. But she's seeing what I'm doing now, and she's like, you know what? You knew what you needed to do, and I'm proud of you, son. So it's all kind of worked out. Yeah. So you made a bet on yourself. You believed in yourself that you could get into voice acting, and you could be a huge influence in the industry. You could be able to play characters that could mean something to people.
Mm-hmm. Again, but I'm one of the lucky ones. It doesn't always go that way, and I will tell anybody always, do not neglect your schoolwork intentionally. I understand it can be really, really difficult and hard. And And it is important to believe in yourself, but if you can give yourself that option, if you at least leave yourself with, okay, if this doesn't work for me, how are other ways I can make money? Or what's a job that I can have while I continue to pursue my voice work? By all means, try to go for that. I left myself essentially with no other choice. I had to make this work, and I did. But again, I don't advise going about it that way, but I will always say, believe in yourself and just commit and work hard every day, and incredible things can happen.
Inspiring words. Truly inspiring words. Stay in school, kids. Kids watching this podcast right now. Stay in school. Wynton says so.
And remember, Wynton told you so.
So another question, a Wynton question. So we know that Wynton had to leave Trox behind because he had to go to take a rest after the battle with Havoc, and then he got partnered with Falcron. And there's Trox.
My baby.
Yes, Trox had to go to sleep because he used up too much energy to fight Havoc. But and Wynton got Falcron. Which one would you prefer, Trox or Falcron?
Oh no, that's so cruel.
I gave you a hard question. I don't think this would be much of a podcast if I didn't at least hit you with one very hard question.
Oh gosh, I am. This hurts. Okay, I'm so sorry, Josh. You know I love you. You know I got mad love. But I gotta go. I gotta go with my OG. I really gotta go with my OG. And for me, it was that, I think it was the third episode or something like that, or maybe the first or second half of the third episode, Trolling for Laughs, I think it was.
Yes.
The one where Wynton is playing all of those pranks, and then he kind of breaks down crying, and Trox is like, I can make it on my own.
Oh yes, that was such a heartbreaking episode.
Yeah. That connected with me in a big way, and not only that, I got to meet Trox's voice actor for the first time shortly after that, Cal Shillingford, who actually was already friends with my sister because they both went to the same university.
Oh,
so that caught me off guard. I saw him following her on Instagram. I'm like, what? Okay. But we started, just like we'd hang out after we would have an episode, because sometimes he'd be scheduled to record right after me. That's how I ended up meeting him for the first time. We became really good friends. And to see another Caribbean actor on the show, let alone one who's getting to use a Caribbean accent for Trox, which I'd never seen in anime before. I think when we initially did the auditions, and I didn't read for Trox, even though I had the opportunity. I think they said they were looking for something that was kind of maybe like regal and sort of like old timey, sort of kingly, something like that.
Oh,
and when Cal went in to do his audition, not unlike what happened to me with Lab Rat, the producer said to him, "Hey, what's your cultural background? Why don't you try bringing something of that to Trox?" And so he pulls out his Caribbean accent, and next thing you know, that's what we got on Trox, and I love it. Can't hear him any other way, and I've never heard him sound like that.
Oh, yeah. The thing about the Bakugan is, like, it has such a diverse cast of characters,
Absolutely.
Like, you have Shun, who's Japanese, Wynton, who's black, I don't.
We have Leah, who's Hispanic.
Hispanic. Leah's Hispanic. We
have Ajit.
Ajit, yeah. Ajit's I want to say like Middle Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
There, yeah.
I would say. I would definitely say Middle Eastern. Or that's the neat thing about him, though. He can represent a lot of things. There have been the actor. His background is Indian Canadian. But I've seen like fans on Twitter from Bangladesh saying like, "Oh my gosh, wow, there's a Desi brawler. That's so cool." So that's again the great thing about Bakugan. You've got characters, some from different places, some not necessarily from a particular place, but definitely influenced by a variety of different cultures, and there's something for anybody to connect with, and that's a really, really cool thing to see.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I really like about the show. I was showing my niece, and she was like, she was really into Leah because Leah looked a little bit like her, except that she doesn't have blue hair.
Awesome.
But she really
I was about to ask.
She looked a little bit like her because like not only like she looked like her, but she also uses Pegatrix, and you know, Bakugan really connects with a large range of audience. I think that's why the show is able to be as much of a success as it is. That's part of the reason. And an amazing voice acting.
I'm okay, but everybody else is phenomenal. We got, again, just so many great people working on this show who are really passionate and out there to just do a good job. And yeah, couldn't be happier to be a part of it, and just made so many new friends doing it.
There's just so much like moments in Bakugan that you each individually have had a chance to shine. You know, you had Julius having a very powerful monologue about Magnus's past. You have Shun crying over his dad's sacrifice. Well, sacrifice. Leah over her. I think it's implied her dad's past.
She was so good. Margarita was amazing.
Yeah. It's never though that was never made clear what happened to her dad, but you know that was still very impactful.
It's very implied what happened there, and there was I showed her there was a message from some fan, I can't remember if it was on YouTube or Tumblr, that they said I really, really connected with Leah because I lost my father years ago, and now the only way that I have to remember him is just through videos and old pictures and just what I'm able to keep in my head. So seeing that episode meant a lot to them and made them cry. So yeah, again, there's so many unique kind of this background behind each character, and you got a lot of people just putting a lot of love into that.
Yeah, what would you say would be the best Wynton moment for you?
I would still say for me that definitive Wynton episode is still that one with Trox, where he they kind of form that bond, and he kind of has to humble himself and recognize that, you know, he's always got to consider the feelings of his friends. But you know, even beyond that, we had in the I believe it was, sometimes these episodes blur together, but I believe this was Armored Alliance, towards the end of that, where Dan wasn't around for a good while, so you basically just had Wynton leading the Awesome Brawlers for a good while. It was almost like Wynton was sort of the stand-in protagonist, and him having that kind of responsibility to carry the show was, again, something that I never would have imagined myself doing. So that was something that I really, really cherished and was very happy to get to do and to get to see.
I remember
as a fan watching would have meant a lot to me.
Oh yes, I guess Wynton is definitely a very enjoyable character to watch. I gotta say, I remember I did one review where like Phantom Thief Storm was a debut, and Dan fell down a trap, and I'm just like, all right, Wynton, you're the main hero now.
Finally, my time to shine. I've been waiting for this. Nah, I love Dan, but you know he can sit out for a little bit.
Yeah. So like, since you've been like you've been in voice acting for such a long time, and I mentioned before, like a lot of the cast that I've talked to, they have this they look up to you like this mentorship kind of thing. How often do you advise the crew, like giving them feedback and giving them like honest thoughts about their performances, and like have you had any kind of influence on that?
Well, generally, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to criticize anybody unless asked to, because obviously I have a ton of respect for all of my castmates. They're all amazingly talented people, but like I'm again not gonna name names, but I have had a lot of people come to me and say, hey, what do you think of how I did in this scene, or what do you think of my voice demo, what kind of input can I give there? And again, I'm very, very grateful that people see me in that way. I'm very grateful just to be trusted in that way, and I want to see them again achieve their highest potential, because there's so many talented people on this show, and for some of them, Bakugan is the only thing that they've ever gotten to do, and I think that's ridiculous. So I want to see them all shining on the highest level they possibly can, and it's very, very humbling for me. Oftentimes, people that I think are amazing are coming to me, and I'm just like, wait, no, you don't need my help. What are you doing? No, you're good. But it's also, again, very, very surreal. I've had what was really, really funny to me, Jonah, the voice of Dan, and Julius as well. They were fans of mine before we met on Bakugan, because they had seen some of my voice acting on the internet for a bunch of web games that I used to do on Newgrounds, where I played this evil little demon guy from a reincarnation series of games. I played this evil purple demon, and they saw, I think, on I think I had a picture, like a collage of all these different characters of mine kind of surrounding a photo of me. And they're like, what? You were the purple demon guy? Wait, no, that wasn't you. And I'm like, yeah? Okay, I didn't know it was that popular, but okay. So, again, it's a neat, very, very humbling sort of thing. And, again, so many talented, hilarious people, and I just want to see them doing well. I want to give everything I can to them.
A piece of trivia I wanted to throw in. You did the voice casting for a game I really liked, Dust and Elysian Tail.
Oh, my baby, my baby.
Yes.
That one was so special for me, because that was essentially my magnum opus in terms of being able to give back to the online voice community. Again, I was the only person who had come from there and had this successful career of working in TV, and I wanted to bring all of this attention to all these people who I thought were just as talented, if not more than me. So when I was approached with that opportunity, I was like, okay, everybody I know on Newgrounds, YouTube, Voice Acting Club, Voice Acting Alliance, here you go. Let's go. Your first professional audition, and I'm going to teach you guys everything I know. And to see that just kind of be the beginning for so many people who have gone on to do such crazy, incredible stuff all this time later. Just to give you a few examples of people who got their first role there. Justin Briner, the voice of Deku from My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Xander Mobus, the announcer from Smash Brothers, Joker from Persona 5. Erica Mendez, who stars in Kill la Kill and Hunter x Hunter. So to be able to help so many people who at the time maybe didn't have a lot of confidence or didn't know how to take direction or work at that professional level, to be able to give back to them, and then seeing them now achieving these higher levels where they're giving back to others and helping other people up. I just love to see that sort of cycle continuing. Of people who are really grateful for what they have, the opportunities that have come their way, and they don't want to pull up the ladder behind them once they've gotten to a higher spot. They know that there's room for others, and that it pays to be good to others. People want to work with people who are good people. So again, that's a game that meant the world to me. I'm so glad I got to have that opportunity, and couldn't be happier to see what it's done for others.
It's so amazing how that game. I enjoyed that game, by the way. That was great voice work and great gameplay, you know. And
made by one guy, did all the coding and all the artwork himself. Incredible.
Yeah. From what I understand, that took a long time to make, and it was well worth it. But it's amazing how that one game, and you being the casting casting director of that, and has catapulted so many people to so many different levels of media that I've consumed, and it's just it's so fascinating, and that just keeps going. That just keeps creating more new forms of media. And
for a lot of them, it goes back to confidence. They'd never had anybody ever tell them before, you can make money doing this. They just figured, just some stupid hobby, and then I'll get older and then I'll get a real job, because you can't make money doing this. So just get that tiny little boost of confidence. Some of them just carried that all the way through to where they are now. So again, that's why I tell people all the time, don't just push other people down. There's no need for that. Like it means so much to build people up, and even if you don't like the work that they're doing, like always try to encourage, find maybe something you can highlight, say, hey, I see potential here, and just try to help people do better. Like, why not? Not that hard.
Yeah, exactly. There's plenty of room for like anybody to like make it. Everybody deserves a chance at success, And when while this is something that this is a quote by Uncle Iroh that I've held on to a long time. While it is always good to believe in yourself, a little help from others can be a great blessing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's that's definitely very inspiring. It's so great to hear that you helping others, and it's just there is good people in the world, and it's always good to know that there's always like people who want to help others, and whatever you want to do, and whatever passion you want to follow, there will always be people who want to help you, want to give you honest feedback, and want to elevate you even higher, so that eventually you can pay it forward and help another person that might be in your same position.
Exactly, and if you're somebody who's gotten to one of those higher up places, and if something happens to you, and maybe you fall on difficult times, you want to have a bunch of people saying, hey, you know what, this dude was there for me, I'm gonna help him out, I'm gonna help her out, because I know they do the same for me. And again, that's I think the best place for anybody to be in, and that's what I love to see in the world.
Yeah, that's a great mindset to have. I try to do the same. I tried. I for one am very fortunate to have this platform and have this many people like watch. I never thought I could. I never thought I could have, because I stutter a lot. I'm very shy. I'm very self-confident about my appearance, and all of a sudden
I connect with all of this.
Yeah, and all of a sudden I have you on this podcast. I have a lot of people watching my videos, and I'm just going back through my old videos. I'm like, man, was I really like that back then?
But you worked hard, and you stayed committed, and I imagine, and it's easy to fall into this place. You get that one word from somebody, you can see like 100 amazing comments, but you kind of get that one comment that's just like, you suck, you should just stop and go off the internet forever, and it's so easy for that to bring you down.
Yeah,
because I know it's happened to me, but when you stay committed and you don't focus on that, those negative comments, sometimes there is maybe a shred of value of something that you can learn from that if they actually offer legitimate criticism. But a lot of them, once you can come to that place where you can say, hey, wait a minute, there's nothing of value in here, or you know what, I see what they're trying to say, but I don't agree, and you stay committed, keep doing your thing, and you've done that, and again, look at you now, your channel continues to grow. You're putting out great stuff, and you have grown so much as just a content creator, and I love seeing it.
Yeah, this is just not a position that I thought I would be on, like on YouTube. I'm like, oh man, I gotta remember this like forever. I gotta give back, right? So, and I'm like, and I see like a lot of people like Ruby Dragonoid and like Articuno Wing and like Foxtail Inferno is some on like just to name those few content creators that are doing Bakugan that are doing like I see are doing cool work, and I'm like, why aren't these guys these guys are a lot better than me when I first started out. Why aren't they getting spotlighted? Because like they're doing way more better work than me. So I always try to like try to give back to people. So I'm kind of in the same boat as you. And that's not something that you and I will ever take for granted. We started at the bottom, and now
we're here.
Now we're here. Yeah, now we're here, and our paths have connected, and we're just trying to give back to others. And that's the thing with the Bakugan community. Everyone is always trying to like help each other out.
Oh my goodness, I every Bakugan event I've gone to, being a part of that community has been some of the most positive experiences that I have ever had. I'm really grateful to Julius for teaching me the game, although I'm sure he regrets it in some ways. But it's been, again, just such a great, positive, uplifting sort of community. It's been really, really cool to be around.
I have seen that video of you and Julius at the invitational event, and you guys played around.
Oh yes! Yes!
That was a close fight. I'll say that was a close fight. I'd say you.
That one was. There's another one that Jet has. Jet has the recording of it. And maybe he's holding on to it to just preserve Julius's reputation. But I felt sorry for Julius by the end of that one.
Oh man. I think that fight got posted. Kimbo I think posted that. I know Jet recorded that, but Kimbo was also recording it as well.
No, there's one that we did in like the hallway of the hotel.
Oh, what?
Yeah, this was at like midnight, and it was something else. Yeah, we were sitting on a couch, and we had like this table in the lobby, and we were going like Bakugan, bro, and it was special. It was very, very special.
Okay, yeah, that's not a fight we've seen yet. So Jet's holding that in his archives.
There's another one.
Oh God! Now I want Jet to actually release that, because I know he recently released footage of his time at the Invitationals that he didn't get to like edit and stuff. So I wonder. If he's still holding that.
You heard it here first. Release the Wynton cut.
Hashtag release the Wynton cut. Okay, I'm getting this trending on Twitter right now. Release the Wynton cut. Yeah, I'm gonna probably tweet this out right now. but yeah, I need to see that.
Again, I don't want to put too much pressure on Jet. He's got, I'm sure, hours upon hours upon hours of footage that he recorded from that time. But I'd still love to see it. But take your time. I know he's got plenty of stuff to do either way.
Yeah. I saw on like one of the Baku showdowns that he did was like with you, and I really liked that one. That was a pretty entertaining match. Your goal was to deal at least one damage to Jet Kuso.
Damage Jet Kuso, and I did it. My goodness, I did it. That was a win for me as far as I'm concerned.
I would definitely like to play you myself sometime. I just upload. We just started doing our battling videos again, and and as of the time of this recording, I uploaded our comeback for that one. I would definitely love to try my hand at you sometime.
Dude, likewise. When we've got a more of a normal world, like it is on. Love to have that.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I was in Toronto like a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in Toronto a few weeks ago, and I got stuck there. I actually got stuck.
So you were flying somewhere, and then you kind of had a layover. What?
I was coming back from San Antonio, Texas, and and I had to go through Toronto, and
all right.
but I had a layover when I was coming back from San Antonio. I had a layover in Houston, and Houston we got delayed by like an hour and a half. We were stuck on the runway, so I missed when I got to Toronto. I missed my flight back home, and they didn't have any other flights until the next morning. So I was stuck in Toronto for a whole night.
Oh my goodness, you poor soul. No one should be stuck in Toronto for a night. I say this because I'm not technically from Toronto. I'm from Mississauga, where we have it's near Toronto, but we have cleaner air and more trees. So technically, I haven't been to Toronto properly in like a year and a half, ever since lockdown, I believe. I don't think I've ever actually been there because all of my episodes now I just record from right here, from the comfort of my own closet.
Yeah, voice actors have to work from home now, huh?
A lot of them. I wouldn't say all of them everywhere, but again, I'm one of the lucky ones. I've got the technical know-how. I've got the right equipment where I've been able to make it work for me. It's unfortunate you've got some people who just don't have the sort of space where they live to set that up, or they might be right near a really, really noisy street, and people like that have had to still go back into studios. But I've been lucky. It's worked out well for me.
Yeah, I've been to Mississauga a few times, actually.
Okay.
For like card game tournaments. I really wish I could have met you. Then I'm pretty sure but I'm pretty sure back then if I saw you, my mind would have been blown. And my mind was blown when it was announced you were cast as Wynton. And
wow, and that's still wild to me, because to me I'm just some guy. But no, the fact that means anything to anyone is again very, very surreal for me. I'm just some shy kid from Mississauga. That's how I see myself still.
So just a couple more questions before we wrap this up. Yeah, when you first got cast as Wynton, how did that come about? I'm not asking for numbers or anything, but how did Spin Master find you and structure their deal with you, knowing how much experience you have to the industry and what you can actually give to the character?
Well, that sort of thing really all goes through agencies. So it's not even Spin Master who reached out to me directly. You have a casting director for the production who will get all the information from Spin Master and whoever about all of the characters, and they'll be given little samples of the script, and they'll say, we're looking for this sort of voice for this character, this for that. And then the casting director will reach out to all the different agents and provide them with the information. Then the agents go to the actors and say, all right, here's what you're auditioning for. Record an MP3 and send it to us. So the ones that I auditioned for that I can remember were Wynton, of course, and Dan and Benton. Those are the ones that I'm remembering reading for, and I ended up getting a callback, basically making it to the second round for Dan and for Wynton. And again, I could have read for the Bakugan. I was given that opportunity, but I didn't want to, because I thought I didn't know how much the Bakugan would be talking. I thought it was just going to be roar, 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 and only Drago does the talking, because again, I didn't have a lot of familiarity with the franchise at the time. And when I saw that they were auditioning Drago again, I'm like, that's Jason. That should still be Jason. I'm not reading that. And thankfully, it continued to be Jason DeLine,
yes.
Rightfully so. He's great there. So yeah, the second and when I first auditioned for Wynton, I hadn't seen a picture of him. But when I did my callback, they did give me some of his artwork, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting this role. Oh yeah, that basically just kind of looks like me when I was 10. Yep, okay. And this was really, really cool because this sort of thing doesn't happen a lot. We then did a third round where they had me and then Jonah, the voice of Dan, and then Margarita, voice of Leah, and they had us all read through a scene together just to sort of get a feel for what our chemistry was going to be like. Even though when we actually record our lines, we all record separately at different times of the day. They wanted to hear us together in one room. And the director and the producer, they're hilarious. They sound like they're really good friends right off the bat. This is going to be our main three, and that's what it's been since then.
Oh, that is so awesome. Yeah, that's so interesting to know about that. Yeah, and I've noticed this. I've noticed this too. Because you guys all record separately, so like it's not like you're in like the booth next to each other, and then you can hear each other and you take turns like reading and stuff. You all like had to record separately and stuff. But it's so amazing that all the characters have like this amazing chemistry. Like I can tell the chemistry between you and Trox, and you and Falcron, or you and Dan, but you guys are not actually talking to each other.
Yeah, that's again the crazy thing about anime, especially. There are quite a few cartoons, like Western cartoons, where you do get to record all the actors in the same room, and they get to make inside jokes and play off each other and respond to each other's ad libs. But here you don't really get a lot of that. But I will say, in some instances, when an actor has already recorded and all of their audio is laid down into the episode audio track, and then the next actor will come in to do their part, sometimes they will be able to hear what the previous actors have already recorded. And so they can kind of respond to them that way. So there's still a little bit of chemistry that can get going from that.
Oh, but it still works, you know. Yeah, that's so awesome.
Something that I've never tried this before, but maybe I'm gonna do it someday. Something that's very, very common in the LA and in the Texas side of things is they'll leave what's called actors will leave what's called a bomb take in a recording session. And what this is when you know the actor who's going to be coming in to record after you, and you know that they're going to be hearing what you already did, you'll record a stupid take that is just for them. That's never intended to make it into the final version of the show. So I could, and maybe I will do this someday once we get back to doing stuff in studio in person. I could have a take saying, "All right, Magnus, by the end of this battle, you're gonna regret every moment of your life. And you're also going to regret that time you taught me how to play Bakugan, because, oh man, going back to that hotel, I hope Jet Kuso releases the Wynton cut, because I'm going to be laughing at you forever." I could just put that in an episode. Come on, Trox, let's go. Julius is a big duty head. I can say that. Maybe I will.
Oh my god! Now I'm begging you to do it. I actually want you to do it, and I want Julius to actually message me sometime and then be like, "Did you? Devin did this. Did you tell him to do this?"
It's gonna be when he least expects it.
I would honestly pay to see that play out.
It could be next year. It could be, hopefully if we go that long, it could be 4 years from now. But I mean, I am going to make it happen. Maybe I'll surprise him and I'll say something really, really nice. But I probably won't.
God, I really honestly want to pay to see that play out. But UCal has actually confirmed that the fourth season is in production.
I didn't even catch that he confirmed that, but yes, that is the case. And it is different. I've only done 1 or 2 episodes so far, But it has a tone that has me very, very intrigued for where it's going to go. Let's see. I'm not gonna say anything that's gonna potentially get me in trouble. So maybe I'll give a musical cue, and you can take whatever you want from this. You will probably interpret it wrong, but if you know a certain theme song that has nothing to do with Bakugan, but do 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 do. That's all I'm giving you.
Oh God! Now I'm eager to see in the comments to see who gets that.
There's
you tease.
an interesting location, and I'm curious to see how characters have matured and how they will handle certain now that they are where they are.
God, season 4 is probably going to be awesome. God, and I really gotta finish reviewing G-Gun Rising because, once Teletoon airs the rest of it, because the reviews stalled because they didn't air on Teletoon yet, and I want to watch them on Teletoon because I want to support you guys.
Right. Oh, appreciate that.
Yes, But yeah, that's thanks for the tease. Now let the speculations run wild.
I hope I sung the song properly because I haven't heard it in a while, but I feel like I was close enough, and maybe somebody will generate some clues from there.
I gotta be honest.
The location might be similar to.
I gotta be honest. I don't know it, but by the sound of it, season 4 is gonna be quite a banger.
It's different in a way that I really, really enjoy it. I'm that guy. I loved filler episodes. The filler episodes that made so many people so furious. When we go and we do something that's just absolutely ridiculous, like completely out of left field. That's the stuff that resonates with me, and I'm not going to say that this is out of left field. I still think it's a unique thing to explore, but stuff like the wacky adventures that we went on in Japan. I don't know if a lot of people were feeling that, or even the cooking episode. That's the kind of silly stuff that I enjoy. The one in the forest with the cryptid, I love that. And this new season isn't like any of that sort of stuff. But again, it's different. It's a new location that I'm very excited about.
Yeah, I've said my opinions on filler episodes. There are some filler episodes that are enjoyable, and there's some filler episodes that just I'm sorry, but seems like a waste of time.
Well, I'll tell you a big part of why I like them though, and while I love the story stuff, especially when I get something really really meaty for Wynton to work with on just a character sort of level. Sometimes you kind of get so accustomed to just the machine and doing everything a certain way. When something is really, really weird and has nothing to do with what you were doing before, it's kind of exciting in that same sort of way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you might be getting a meal that you enjoy all the time, but if you decide, one day, you know what? Fruit Loops for dinner. It's crazy and it shouldn't happen, but you know what? That's fun if you have steak every day. So that's kind of what it's like for me.
Oh yes, I definitely agree with you there because there are some shows that do have that. There are some shows that do just focus on story and just don't humanize the characters a little bit. And like I said, I do enjoy some filler episodes and even some of the silly ones that are really funny. And it's nice to just deviate a little bit, just take a break from the serious stuff in the show, and just just hang out with these characters and stuff. Just sit back and have a little bit of fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And I I get that it's not for everybody, and I can totally understand that. But yeah, at the end of the day, they always get back to the main story eventually. So that's why I don't mind when it goes off on that path at all.
Yeah, definitely. And
yeah, you know what? I'll give you another example. One of my favorite episodes of Dragon Ball Z is the one where Goku and Piccolo learn to drive.
Yes, I love that one. I love that. I love that one. Like that filler episode. That was a good one. Yeah. Is that a challenge? Well, it's a race you want. It's a race you'll get. I do a very bad Piccolo.
Not bad, honestly. But again, another thing going back to voice acting. If you take an impression that ends up being nowhere close to what you're trying to do, guess what? You've got an original, unique character right there.
Oh, that's a good point. I tried so hard to do an Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it just like fails like all the time because I can never pull off a British or Scottish accent. Like I am Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well,
you are my brother, Anakin.
Here's an interesting thing there. With Dust, an Elysian Tail, the talking sword Aura. I asked my buddy Bosco to sound more like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it sounds nothing like Obi-Wan Kenobi. But he still took from that the elements of, okay, how can I sound just wiser and ancient and like I know something that I'm hiding and I'm not telling you. And he was able to bring that through just from me giving him that kind of note. For those of you who watch Has Been Hotel, that guy went on to be the voice of Alistair from Has Been.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a good point. Sometimes like if you're trying to voice something, it doesn't turn out the way that it's intended to be, but it makes something else, right?
Exactly. So for anybody who wants to get into this, again, there's nothing wrong with only just having your natural sound. That's great. In fact, don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. I used to be afraid of just using my natural sound until I just got more and more comfortable with it. But at the same time, experiment. You can go online or just get together with your online friends or whoever and say, hey, I'm gonna make a funny dub of this comic or whatever. I'm gonna write a little audio story and we'll just do some silly voices. So do anything that comes to mind. Show me your Super Mario voice. Show me your Sonic the Hedgehog or whatever. Just do that same kind of. Show me your moves. All these kind of weird things. Put them together and just have fun. Just remember that at the end of the day, never lose that aspect of fun in whatever you want to make. Whether that is voice acting, whether you want to make, you want to be a YouTuber, you want to be a vlogger, just have fun.
Yeah, that is great, inspiring, great advice coming from Deven Mack, and you pretty much answered my final question. It was just what advice would you give for aspiring voice actors watching this? But just go with it, just have fun, And
exactly.
That's great. Well, that's pretty much all the time that we have. But Deven, thank you so much for coming on and just coming on and just hanging out and chatting. That's it's truly an honor. I'm truly blessed to have you come on, especially coming from someone that I've watched ever since childhood. But thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been, again, a ton of fun. I hope I was entertaining to all y'all. And I love you, and thank you for watching Bakugan. Thank you for playing Bakugan, and I hope that we have many, many more years of it.
Yes, definitely. And, we are looking forward to Wynton being further developed and, like, just seeing what else can you take him, and, if it's possible, hoping maybe for a movie.
Oh, that'd be sweet. That would be sweet.
Yeah,
you never know.
Yeah, and if you are not playing Wynton in that movie, I don't want to watch it. Repress the voice cast.
That is very, very kind of you. I would certainly expect to be playing, but one of the realities of this industry and the way things often go is not everybody ends up playing the same role forever. It's been like that with Chef in Total Drama Rama. I was not the original voice of Chef. Now I am. Now they're doing a new Total Drama series. I don't know if I'm going to be Chef in that one, but I'm grateful for the time that I get to have with the character. I get to shape them my way. Hopefully that resonates with people. In fact, the character that I have creatively shaped the most, even far more so than Wynton, Raccoon from a web series, Terrain of Magical Expertise. Like in the game that's sort of based off of that series, I am actually not voicing the character anymore. I've still been able to write all of his material and shape and direct the character, but at the end of the day, you know, we get to have our time with the character. Hopefully it means something to someone, and no matter where things go in the future, you're always able to go back and enjoy what's already been there for you. So kind of a weird tangent to go on all of a sudden, but it's something that I think everybody should be able to know and recognize about this business. I understand that we don't own our characters, but hopefully you're able to enjoy them all the same.
Just make the best of it, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, that, you know, and you've given so much advice for future aspiring voice actors wanting to be in the business and probably watching this. So thank you so much for all that you're already giving on this podcast.
It has been my pleasure.
Yeah, and you know, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want to follow Deven, you can follow him on Twitter and Instagram and on YouTube at Deven O'Clock. That's like 7 o'clock, but with a D.
Nice.
I've always wanted to do that.
Oh, you nailed it. Maybe you should be Wynton.
No, my voice is not high enough. But thank you so much for coming on, man. Hopefully we'll do this again sometime. Support BakuTalk by pressing the thumbs up and give us a subscribe for more awesome Bakugan content. I've been Haru Ren, this has been Deven Mack, and thank God for Rapid Fire.
Bakugan, bro! Woo!